Hey, everybody. I'm not sure why that so abruptly stopped. I have no idea what happened. We were cheated on that countdown. Sorry, I had to do a little restart. So we are all set to go. You're good? You're good? I'm good. You guys are good. Janice is good. My glasses are kind of dirty, so I'm going to fix that right now. And then we're going to get to making. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Yeah, it's been kind of busy. It was a good kind of restful holiday weekend, right? But we are definitely back in the swing of things. I have a couple of things to update you on. And then we will get to it. I'm super excited about these GemDuos. So let me see. Good. Everyone's good. Oh, Janice, thanks for that. I thought that this headband was a little like Gloria Vanderbilt, right? Remember how like in her photos, she'd have like her bob like all slicked back. And sometimes she'd wear that like late 70s, early 80s, really wide headband. So yeah, I found this in my drawer. I went shopping in my closet. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing with this, right? It's very GV is how I'm feeling. It also might be a little bit DV, Diana Vreeland. I'm not sure, but I can play either of them today with my black cashmere and my headband. Let's see who's here. Everyone is here. That's great. So thank you so much for that. So I appreciate that. Okay. So this is what we've got. And if anything happens with the broadcast and the broadcast drops out, just stay where you are. Okay. But I think we're stable now. That's one of the joys about going live. Okay. Couple things. So today, if you're watching me live, it is Wednesday, December 3rd. We are deep. Well, we're deep in the year, right? Hitting December, working on those projects for the holidays. Today's project will be a great one for the holidays, right? I know, Curtis, I'm with you. I'm like, oops, it's Wednesday. It's been a long week already. What we did over here was yesterday we did a lot of rearranging because I had to get the sewing studio all set up because the bag class, the Maker Tote class is Saturday. I'm super excited about it. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that, but we had to do some rearranging. So we did that yesterday. We tightened things up. I gave Janice a little tour this morning in the studio here. It's looking great. We're going to have so much fun. So if you haven't gotten, I'm going to put on a little more lip here. There we go. I think that's better. Gloria Vanderbilt would approve, I think. So what we did that rearranging. So we're all set to go. So for class tonight, if you're enrolled in class, you should have gotten a couple of emails from me. Okay. It has the Zoom link for tonight's pre-show class, right? It's only going to be about 30 or 45 minutes. I'm going to go over kind of your fabrics because those of you who didn't get the kit might need a little bit of guidance on fabric, etc. So we'll do that. That's tonight at 4 p.m. Pacific time. For those of you who can't make it, it will be recorded and I'll send it out afterwards. Also, in that email that you got from me, you should have had the pattern, some guidelines. There was 3 and an outline for the class. So that's all there. So if you have any questions, just shoot us an email. So that's one thing. Tonight, preview, Saturday class. And my mom will be here. I know. She is saying that I'm making her work Saturday, but there's no place she'd rather be, right? So she's going to be moderating the Zoom and asking questions, et cetera, et cetera. So we're all set. We're all set for that. I'm super excited. More online sewing class content will be coming. I've got some more classes that I will open for enrollment. And our quilting class is almost filled. But you can go to our online class tab and take a look at that date and the offerings. It's going to be fun. So after this one is wrapped, I'll turn my attention to the quilt class. And those of you who have already enrolled will get all of your materials lists and your pattern and stuff like that. So it's going to be fun. Next thing is, thank you so much for a great holiday. We had a lot of orders over the weekend and the week leading up to Black Friday. So we really, really appreciate your patience. We're a little not behind on orders, but orders are taking a little bit longer to get out because of the volume. So let me ask you one thing, or tell you a couple of things. If you place an order and you're like, Kate, I got to have it ASAP, use priority mail, okay? Because in the mornings we check what is priority and those go out that day, usually from the night before, okay? If you place it later on in the day, it will ship the next business day, okay? And do note that we don't usually ship on the weekends, though sometimes Miranda sneaks in and does some shipping, but don't count on it, okay? Also, with the Thanksgiving holiday, there wasn't mail over there, and the volume of mail is ramping up, right, because of the holidays. So please, communication is key, all right? So communicate. Let us know what's going on. If you need your order to go out ASAP, send it out. Choose priority shipping when you check out, and we'll get it to you that next business day. Also, for what do I want to say? For this Friday, for Free Tip Friday, we've got something special, super, super special for you. We have Danielle Wicks coming on, okay? And we have a really fun announcement for that. So check your newsletters on Friday morning. We're putting something up for pre-sale. And what it is, I can tell you, is that we are partnering with Danielle to help her with her monthly box, her monthly design box, right? Some of you may already get it from her. She releases it. She releases like a design box at the beginning of the month or for every month. And she does a whole bunch of content around it. She was not having issues, but it was a lot for her to take on. She is literally a one-woman show, right? And she does so much for our beading community. So we're like, you know what, Danielle, let us help you with this. So we are helping with the fulfillment and the purchasing, so you can buy her design box directly on beadshop.com. It'll be a pre-sale like our other pre-sales that we've done. We've got it down. So yeah, we're going to be doing that. And I'm super excited. We are also going to be stocking some of the products that she has in her box so that if you really like some of the things like the mixes she puts in, all of that, you'll be able to get them from Beadshop. This has been in the works for a couple of months now. We have been working really hard. Danielle is one of the hardest workers in the bead biz. We are so, so fortunate that she's trusting us with this partnership. So there's going to be more about that on Friday. She's coming on with me. We'll talk a little bit about the collab. She'll give you a little bit of a sneak peek about the colors and the mystery box. The box goes on sale on Beadshop on Friday morning. There's a limited amount. So set your calendars or set your timers or mark your calendars, whatever it is. We're releasing 175 of those boxes. So they'll sell out pretty quickly. If you have had her box in the past, you know she generates a whole bunch of projects around what she puts in the box. So we're going to actually be doing an unboxing on the day that she releases all of those products, those projects and everything, and that'll be in January. The boxes will start shipping around, I have to look at the date. Let me look at the date that they'll start shipping. It'll be on the Friday, but I have it here. Let me give you an idea. So the box goes live on Friday the 5th, and then we start shipping them. I think we start shipping them in January. We start shipping them on the 9th, but we may actually start shipping them a little bit early if we get them early, which I think we will. So more on that. But that live unboxing the monthly box with Danielle is going to be on at the beginning of January. Okay, so you'll see that there. Okay, and Terry, that is a great question, and you know what? To be honest, I didn't even think about this bonus, but it is a bonus. All of your purchases that you make through Beadshop always gives you VIB points. Okay, so yes, you'll get points for this, for sure, for your rewards and stuff. I want to mention, though, the boxes are not discountable, okay, because it is a collab with us. You know, we want to make sure that Danielle gets fair compensation for all of this and everything. So there won't be any discounts on it, but you will get your VIB points for sure on that. And Carolyn, I couldn't agree more. She really takes the stress out of selecting colors and creates some fun designs. Oh, I'm so glad. Happy birthday, Sharon. If you put your birthday in your VIB, you will get birthday points. And those VIB points, they do add up. I'm telling you, we have one of the most generous, I think, in the industry, VIB points, redeemable point program. I don't know what to call it, but and thank you, my friend Faye. It's good to see you. It's always good to see that you are out in the audience, and I love seeing you there. So a big hello for that. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Those two things, and then next Wednesday, you're going to get a double dose. You're going to get Danielle again with me. I sent her the monthly mix, Dickens. And if you haven't grabbed yours, grab it because people are loving it. It's going out fast. She's doing a project with it. Okay. So what that project is will be revealed in time, but I sent her a Dickens mix, actually a couple of them, and she's whipping something up with it. So she'll be on with me next week as well. So a big thank you to Danielle and for working so hard, not only with us, but with so many in the bead biz. She's kind of like a bead angel for sure. I also wanted to mention that, and thank you, Mary Ellen. Thank you. We not only are we collaborating with Danielle, but our buddy Nilay over at Silver Silk, Nilay Patel, he is making a companion bundle that goes with her box. Nilay is going to be selling that over on his site a little later towards when the box is released. So if you're interested, jump over to Silver Silk, join his texting program. I love getting texts from Nilay. We're friends outside of the bead world. So I'm all, is this a personal text or is this a promotional text from Nilay? I love it. So great. So you can jump over to Silver Silk and more, see what Nilay has up his sleeve. I heard through the grapevine that he's sending me one of those bundles. So I'm excited to see it. So anyway, that's what's going on. One other thing I do want to mention, and then we'll get to the project. Okay. We had a great bead extravaganza meeting yesterday, which was great. We're planning out 2026. The winter great bead extravaganza is coming up. It's going to be in January, right? The winter TGBE, which I'm really looking forward to. That is going to be preview night on the 16th, and then Saturday the 17th and 18th of January. That's going to be fun. We have 2 new businesses joining us for 2026. And they're going to be joining us for 2026 only, though we'll see if their reach extends beyond that. 2 presenters who we've had before. One is Rebecca Combs, who is a fantastic Kumihimo artist and has just reopened her store in Tucson. Right. So her store is in Tucson. I'm sorry I don't have the name of it, but go over to the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group, and you can see a little bit more about Francesca and about Rebecca. But her Tucson store, she reopened it, and it's only open on the weekends, her bead store, which is awesome. It's great to have some brick and mortar around, right? So if you're in Tucson, or if you're going to the Tucson Gem Show, I urge you, design and adorn. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I knew someone would chime in with it. So Rebecca will be with us on the Saturday spot. And then my friend Francesca Watson of the Makery, she's going to be adding metalsmithing content. She's an amazing metalsmither, amazing artist, amazing person. Again, does so much for the metalworking community. We're so fortunate to have her on board with us for the 4 shows in 2026. She's going to be sharing a lot of great metalsmithing content, and she is a really very gifted instructor. So you can go over to the Makery, her studio website over in Bulverde, Texas, and she's fabulous. So we're really very fortunate to add those 2 wonderful presenters into our great bead extravaganza group. And Remy's Place, I'm so glad. Francesca is a great person to learn from. I also have some metalsmithing content coming up with you folks that we're going to be doing in 2026. I've got the itch to get those torches out, and I think that those broadcasts will be coming live from my metalsmithing studio. It's going to be fun. So we'll see what happens. It's going to take me a little while to get all of those on board, but you can find a bunch of great metalsmithing tools and everything in our metalsmithing tools section right over on beadshop.com. And thank you, Margaret, for asking. The December 18th movie, we are going to get that info out. We're going to wrap it up this week, and we'll put it in the newsletter. Okay, so you know. But mark that calendar. It's going to be sometime in the later afternoon, probably, so that people on the East Coast aren't watching at midnight with us. Okay, so we'll have all of that info out there as well. And for those of you who weren't watching last week, we're going to do a holiday movie watch together. I'm going to make a project. We're going to just kind of work and have fun and chat. And yeah, so to be more info on that coming, but we just thought a little holiday get together would be fun. I'll have some prizes and things like that. We'll really make it a party. And thank you, Janice, for putting this up. We have 4 spots, though I haven't checked. We may have sold some, but our metals retreat in Clovis, Emily and I are doing in April. Is it April? It's April of next year. It's going to be super fun. Emily's doing metal clay. I'm doing some sawing. It's really going to be great. So if you want to join us, there are spots available. It's going to be a 2-day extravaganza. And I have the feeling that this is going to be something that we do again for sure. Okay. And it's April 24th and 25th. Thank you, JP, for putting that up. All right. I think, so see what happens when I don't talk to you over the weekend? I had to get all of that out. But let's get to making, shall we? I want to show you the mixes. I want to show you this mirror mix. I want to show you what we do. And then let's get after it. Okay. So here's this. Let me do this. And we're ready to go. Okay. So if you saw on Saturday, our Small Business Saturday, Janice put together a really amazing mix of the mirror GemDuos. Okay. And we love these GemDuos. It's a 10-gram tube filled by weight, not by volume. Just so you know, when you get your tube, you're like, wait a minute. We have our tubes. We fill them by weight. We weigh each one. And these mirrors, these backlit GemDuos are really something to behold. We have exactly, before this, we had exactly one mirror finish or backlit. I keep calling them mirrors, but they're backlits, right? We had exactly one with us. And we thought, you know what? These are so delish that we had to do a mix with them. So we did. And when I dumped them out to take the photo and, see what, commune with them a little bit, they looked to me like the old-fashioned Christmas lights, right? The old school bulb ones. Remember, you had to lay them all out before you put them on the tree, and you had to get the little package of replacement bulbs and unscrew the bad ones and screw in the new ones. That was always my favorite. I love those old school bulbs. But that's what I think these really remind me of. And it's a good color mix. Janice went for a real variation in color, from some bold colors, some soft colors. So just like holiday lights, they really have a variety of colors in them. And we fill them by weight, and it is kind of, it's random. I mean, we don't put like 2 of these and 2 of these and 2 of these. So it will be random. There are 16 different colors in here. So you will get hopefully one, more than one, but you should have the full color representation. Okay. So that's this right here. We also replenished our frozen mix, our frozen candy SuperDuos or GemDuos, sorry. This is that new finish that you folks loved. And I just made a little mix of it when I, with all the bags, I had a 100-gram bag of each. So I made a mix, and seriously sold out within just a few hours when we released it. So we made more, so you can have more of it. So this one released and this one released. So I thought, you know what? Let's play around. If you remember last year, I did this earring, okay, like this, with the GemDuos and the SuperDuos. But I also want to do a star pattern with this, right? And then, of course, with the SuperDuos, we have, let me zoom out. There we go. We, of course, have the earring, the one that Drea started us all on with the SuperDuos. And then this is that one that we did with that great star finding that we have for the GemDuos. These would also look great in that star finding. So this, I think, is a mat of holiday goodness, right? Really, really awesome. So I'm going to start by doing a star pattern with these backlets. And Sandra, I agree with you completely. I love the backlit GemDuos as well. I think they do have kind of an elegance about them. We got some of the backlets. They're kind of hard to see, but the backlit, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. We have a backlit with the splash. Can you see that splash on the top? Emily, too, has decided, right, Emily, too, that the splash is one of your faves. Mm-hmm. Like that ivory splash. Will you grab an ivory splash GemDuo for me? Do you mind? I'm poor Emily's having to deal with me. Miranda's out visiting with friends, and so which she is. It's well earned, but you know, I'm telling poor Emily. I'm like, and this is how it is on Wednesdays. Oh, let me do this right here. Look at these. This one had a kind of a big helping of these splash backlit. But I think I want the ivory splash. Do we have any there? Yeah. Okay, perfect. I think the ivory splash would look really, really good with those. And then may I ask you to get me a star one like this, whatever those are called.
The gold?
Yeah. Or no, whatever. Doesn't matter. Whatever we have the most of. Doesn't. Maybe the brass. How about the brass?
Okay.
And here's look at that ivory splash. Those. Okay. Oh, well, I don't know. Whatever. You decide. I love it. So that's the splash, the GemDuo splash ones, ivory splash. Perf. Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so there's that. Okay. So, oh, and thank you, JP. This backlit was really kind of an experiment. We wanted to see, number one, if you folks liked it. Number two, if you, which ones do you want us to carry? So please email us and let Janice know. All of the colors are listed on the backlit kit, the backlit product page, so you can let Janice know which ones you like. So yeah, so that's what's happening. So let's start with the star that I did. So I'm going to use Fireline for this, right? Oh, the butterflies. You know, I've just kind of touched on them. I think I need to do a project. I need to do a necklace project with those butterflies, don't you think? I just really love them. In our moving around of things yesterday, I moved all the vintage finds like we used to have them in our old office. So they're actually now all on the wall, so I can see and design with them. So yeah, I'll do something with them. They're such a great bead. Maybe I can get Janice to help me with that necklace, because it's such a fun one. But the holes in those butterflies are pretty big, so you've got a lot of real estate to work with for sure. Okay, so I guess I'm going to use, so this is 4 pound. Maybe I should use black. I was going to use white, but it's kind of hard on that. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to put a little color. There we go. So I don't have to switch that up. Okay, that's what I'll do. And then I'm going to use a size 12 beading needle just because I've kind of gotten used to that with this. And I think it'll work out because, again, I don't know how many passes and stuff I'm going to make, right? So a size 12 is always a good choice. I'm going to needle the thread. I flattened out the fire line a little bit with my thumbnail. I'm needling the thread. Then what I'm going to do is I'm not going to even worry about the ones that I'm choosing. And I'm going to put on, I think I'm going to put on, they need to be going the right way. I need to look at my photo. Hang on. Where is my photo? Oh, let me just put this up. Hang on. I'll just do it this way. Hold, please. Let's put that up. I'm putting, it's kind of hard to see. 5. I think that's 5. We'll see what happens. Okay. I think I put 5 on in the center. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All facing the same way. All going through the bottom point. And let me just put it in a circle and see if that looks right. Yes, that is correct. Okay. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to tie this together, and then I'm going to go back through the center ring one more time. Okay. See that? How that pulls that together like a star. Okay. So I'm going to tie this overhand knot. I'm going to leave myself a pretty good tail so I can weave it in later. Okay. So now I'm going to step up. Let me go a little tighter in here with this. There we go. I'm going to step up and go up through this hole. And I think that this GemDuo section is large enough for 2. Again, making sure that they sit correctly, you know, with the mirror on the back. So there's that. Look at how nice that sits in. Okay. So let's do another one. 2. 1 and 2. Don't you love shaped beads? I loved shaped beads. Emily, what's your favorite bead shape? Emily's like, don't put me on the spot.
Maybe drops?
Drops. Yeah, I love the drops too. Drops are so good. We've got some fresh drops. We just got some really great check glass. Janice chose some, and Miranda and Emily and I gathered around the computer and chose some others, including new buttons that are going to drop. They're so pretty. That's literally how we choose beads. We gather around the computer and we look at them. So see, that's starting to come together. Gone are the days, you know, back in like Beadshop, old school Beadshop days, vendors would come see us in 2 ways. We would, oh, that might be a little heavy on the blue. Let me take that out. I'm going to put a green. We would get vendors that would make appointments, right? And they would come in with their sample cases, right? And they'd have sample cards with all the beads pasted to them. And we'd sit in the classroom and look through every single sample card that was in their case. Then it would take so long that we would have to stop and go to lunch. Remember, Janice, there was that Chinese restaurant that was right near us, which was great. We'd go to lunch, and then after lunch, we'd come back. We'd buy more beads. And usually then we would schedule the dates for those beads to be delivered, right? And lunch was usually on the vendor. That was all part of it. That was really good times, right? So see how this is coming together like this? So I've gone and there's a star, and I put 2 GemDuos kind of akimbo like that in each one. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to step up and I'm going to go here on the side and I'm going to put one right in that space. So we do that. We would do that and then the beads would start rolling in anywhere between 2 to 6 months after that, especially if it was one of our reps from the Czech Republic who would come, and that was a lot of fun, right? And we'd order, you could order the different shapes and the different finishes, and it would be kind of a surprise when you got everything. It would also be a surprise when you got the bill, but you know, whatever. That was fun. So see here, what I'm going to do, I'm just putting these in to make sure that everything fits nicely. But we'd do that. That was one way, right? We'd have the vendors come, okay? The other way would be, there was this group of vendors. See, so now I've got to get from here to here. So I'm going to needle down. I'm going to go down there. You know what? I might want to do this backwards, but we'll see. I'm going to needle down. That's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to come at it from the other way. I'm going to go through here and whoops. And I got to get this over here. There we go. There was a group of vendors who would come out from the East Coast. And it was a group, and they would rent a hotel room in San Francisco. And it was one of those, I think it was on like Van Ness, I think the hotel was. It was like a motel. And they would take over a block of rooms and you would go to each vendor and place your order, right? And you would go from room to room and you'd see like your fellow bead store owners there, right? Because everybody, that's when the Bay Area had a bunch of bead stores. So see now how I have to bring my needle all the way over through these. It's also reinforcing the star. Now I'm going to come up here and stitch that inside. And that was so fun. So you'd go from room to room, ordering your beads. There was someone there who just had jump rings. You'd order your jump rings and your findings, right, from him. There was someone who had the vintage resin back in the day. They were based in Providence. That was fun. And I'd always ask her, I'm trying to remember her name. Gosh, it was something, it wasn't Joan. It was something like Joan. It'll come to me. Maybe Christine will remember because we would buy from her in our Beadissimo days too. And so I would always ask her, tell me what hasn't sold. Because, you know, it would be kind of unique and interesting, right? I'm like, tell me what hasn't sold. She goes, oh God, Kate, this one's a real dog. This won't sell. And I'm like, we want 50 pieces. And Janice would, her eyes would roll so far back in her head. But those ones that other bead stores never sold, we always did so well with because they were so unusual, right? I loved it. So there we go. Now I just have to get this last point there. Right. It was part of the husband and wife. It was Janice, it was Bruce, and it was Ogilvy. The Ogilvies would come. They were part of it. There was the vendor who did all the clasps and the jump rings. There was the chain vendor from back east who would come. They're closed from Providence Chain. Providence Chain is long gone. And there was the other vendor, that woman, Janet something. She had all the resin. She had some vintage glass. But there were like 5 or 6 vendors, and they would come a couple of times a year, and they would tell you were coming. You'd make your appointment, and then we'd go to lunch, right? Janice and I would go to lunch and guess about how much we spent. And that was that, right? Those were fun. So those were the two main ways. Sometimes we'd venture to Tucson. We wouldn't go to Tucson every year, but our vendors would come like twice a year through the, through the circuit, and we would be able to get all of our things. Those times are long gone, but gosh, those sales calls were so dear to us, right? They were so great. So see, this is the quadrant. Okay, like, isn't that amazing? Heather, I knew that you folks, Janet Christie, that's who it was. She was so fun, right? Didn't we have fun? Janice, I agree. These are so 1920s. I think these would look so great. And I'm going to stiffen one of these with diamond glaze to see how it looks. Stiffened with diamond glaze and put on bobby pins so you can put them in your hair for the holidays. Wouldn't this be incredible? Or you can wire wrap them on the headband or on the comb. Wouldn't that be great? Right? So good. They look exactly my mom's favorite. Mom, what's your favorite? Paste. That's right. They're not the diamonds, darling. We pulled out the paste. That's exactly right. So take a look at the quadrant of this. So see, this is actually worked in a diamond. So you could work it that way as well, right? So see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 diamonds here. So you could create the diamonds as well and use them. But yeah, they're so full of, so very, very vintage. A band in just the clear. Yeah, we need to make sure that we carry just the clear because they would look like diamonds. And yeah, I really felt that you folks needed to see them in action. I really just fell in love with them, right? Oh, and thank you, Kim. Sometimes when I tell these stories, I'm like, do people really want to hear it? But it was really fun. It was a different time back in, the 90s when we bought beads that way. So fun. It would make a great brooch, right? The brooch, when I did this for a brooch, and I was looking for the brooch, I can't find it. I think it's pinned on a jacket somewhere. But what I did was for the brooch, I would just glue this with some E6000 onto some ultra suede, let it cure, and then cut out around it, right? And put a pin back on. That would be it. Yeah, these stars are so, so delicious. Oh, thank you, Janice, for the info. Backlets were created in 2015, but they used old school techniques to make them work. It's really, really true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in. See, it's a little floppy flop. So I'm going to come in and just reinforce it. And then we're going to see what we do with it. I want to put the diamond glaze on here. I want to just put diamond glaze. What do you think, Kim? Right? I'm going to get it closer. Cool. Right? Isn't it good?
Yeah.
Seeing the backlets in action, I think really, come on, look at it. It's so good. I just love it. So I'm going to come in. I'm going to reinforce just a few, and then we're going to diamond glaze. Emily, have you seen the diamond glaze in action?
No.
Okay, I'll show you. Emily is getting fast. Emily, too. She's getting quickly acclimated to all things bead. Stepping up, getting it done. Right? And Deborah, that is a great question. If we made 2 and glued them back to back, yeah, they would still shine because they're opaque on the back, right? So make 2, glue them together, it would be like a front and back earring or a holiday ornament or I don't know, whatever, right? Wouldn't that look good? This also would make a great cap if you don't diamond glaze it. You could put that on top of an ornament, right? Wouldn't that be good? Yeah, a tree ornament would be great. And you can just kind of continue, you know, keep building out and see what you get, right? Let me just do this just a little bit more. I'm going to go down here. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go up here. I'll go through. I'll go down. And let me get the diamond glaze out. See, that little rework just makes these points a little sturdier, right? Though I think the diamond glaze will stiffen. This one has been stiffened with the diamond glaze for sure. So the diamond glaze, we will be, I didn't realize that we were out. I'm sorry. You can also find it, like if you want it today, it'll be restocked. But we also have it listed on our Amazon storefront. If you have not gone to our Amazon storefront, we have things in our Amazon storefront that we talk about on the show. Other things like things for the sewing class and your purchases, they are affiliate purchases and they just give a little bit of extra into the Beadshop bucket. So we really appreciate you using our affiliate link. And you can find that if you go right online to our homepage and you go to online, whatever, online, I think it's just a tab that says social media, I think is what it is. Our Amazon affiliate is listed there and you'll go to our Amazon storefront. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to bring this thread back and I'm going to tie it off with this one. Okay, you don't need to, I might have reinforced, I might have been a bit heavy-handed with this, but I don't know. I'm just trying everything out. So let me go here. Let me bring this back down to the other thread. And I think that's also the reason why I use this size 12 needle was, and don't pull it too tight. I'm being a little too firm with this. You don't want it to curl. You want it to lay flat. Okay, let me, so watch your tension. There we go. Okay. Yeah, the E6000, I'll check. Look, I'll glue one of these on with E6000 so we can see it. Sometimes what I find that reacts with the backing is the zap, but let's try the E6000 too. Okay. I'm going to just do one right now. Let me get this though to the back and I need to tie it with that thread. So, oh, what is going on with this? Hang on. There's a thread caught back there. It's this. Oh, see, I jumped. So this will be fine. It'll glue in and no one will notice. But the reason I was stitching around between just the GemDuo, it's hard to see, but here I went from this hole to that hole and the thread kind of opens up a little bit. So, yeah, just be careful. You don't want those thread bridges to really show. I just need to get this down. Let me do this. There we go. And let me go down here to the center where I think that knot is. Let me put it to the back. And let's do this. Okay. And I'm going to come in. And since this will be diamond glazed, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to tie that overhand knot. I'm going to tie, not overhand, a square knot, right over left, left over right, and then one more on top. There we go. And I'm going to get my thread burner, and I'm going to thread burn those ends off. If I can find my thread burner. Let's see. Is it here? Nope. Oh, here. Maybe I'd put them away like a smarty pants. There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to get it in here. I could also clip it, but I want to cauterize this end, so I'm going to thread burn it. We'll get that. And this. Okay. So there's that. All right. So what I want to make sure with these, yeah, and watch your tension. It'll be fine once I get it all glued, but don't be too tight with it. I'm going to put this baggie down. I'm going to make sure, here's my star right here. So this is ready. All right, Emily, I'm going to go for it. I've got my diamond glaze. And we've got it right here. I'm going to make sure that it's opened with a, I'm going to use the pin off the back of this brooch right here to just open up the bottle tip like that. There we go. So as you know, here's the diamond glazed here, right? So this, I'm just going to drop, because I really just want this to float on the back, right? Sometimes I put it on the front, but I don't want to dull the shine of these. So I'm just going to put it in. That might have been a little much. Would you hand me a paper towel, my friend, please? Don't put quite as large of a puddle as I did, maybe. I don't know. This is all an experiment. I'm just going to cover it and soak some of that up. Let's do that. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. And then I'm going to wipe if any diamond glaze got on the top. Okay. And we're going to let that dry. All right. And it should stiffen it. Now, what I didn't think of, and I should, so that's it. Diamond glaze, bam. And we're going to let it sit. I don't know. I would let it sit overnight, but we'll see where it's at the end of the broadcast. You could also maybe use a heat gun, but I don't like using a heat gun. Carolyn, you probably could use a Q-tip to apply. I kind of like the puddling. Get that puddle, not such a puddle, such a large one like I did. Smaller puddle, put it down in the center because this is self-leveling, so it should work. Then for the top, if we're going to put this as an earring, though I might put it on a head or hairpin, I should have stitched that little triades. I should have stitched that on the top, and I didn't, but that's okay. I can maybe, once the diamond glaze is done, though, it's kind of done. So I'll see. I could also maybe glue it. And then I could dangle it from, you know, this thing, right? Like that. You could also make another star, like if you wanted a big say something earring, right? We could use, I would just glue these in, right? Wouldn't that, I don't want two of the same color. Wouldn't that be a say something earring right there? I'm just going to pop them in just to look. But look at how pretty. I love this finding. It's also so, do I have a red one left? Something bright. Yeah, here's a red. This red one. Come on, go in. There she goes. Right? Look at that. That's kind of fun. Could I use UV resin to coat the top? Judith Manchester asks. I don't know why I couldn't. I could certainly dip it in. I could puddle the resin below even, set it in, put this whole thing under the UV light and try it that way. I mean, why not? We just had the UV resin out. We had the UV light out earlier today. So yeah, I don't see why you couldn't try that out, right? So yeah, so let me put this aside. I'm going to glue a SuperDuo to this piece of Ultra Suede with the E6000. Let's test a couple of those. Let me cut a strip here. Hey, Emily, would you pass me a pair of scissors as well? Sorry. Perf, thank you. Let me just cut a strip here. And Terry, I see your question. I will address that in a second. So let's use some E6000. Which is here. And let's use some Zap. Okay. And I will also glue GemDuos back to back. Okay. I'll do that. Let me get another plastic sheet or plastic baggie. I know I have a loose one here somewhere. Maybe I don't. Emily, I'm sorry. I need a baggie.
A baggie?
Please. Just like a 3x5 or something. Emily's learning what it's like to work on Wednesdays. Then I need this. Then I need this. Okay, so let's start here. Let me get a GemDuo. Let me put some, is this a new one? It is. Let me pierce it a little hole, not a giant hole. Okay. And Terry says, no pressure. Emily, you're doing great. And Margaret says hi to Emily too.
Hello.
It is true. She is doing great. We couldn't do it without Emily 2, Miranda. Emily 1. We couldn't have done it without Emily 1. Right? We can't do it without all of you. So there's a little bit there. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this and I'll put it down. Okay. Right there. Now let me glue 2 of these back to back using the Zap, not a lot. There we go. Let me get this GemDuo and glue it. Pushing it together there. Okay. So that's that. Okay. Let me do that. Let me put this away. And let's do the same with these 6,000, shall we? Whoops, crash. looks like this is okay so far. E6000. I need a little toothpick. I'm going to extrude a little bit of E6000 here. Put it on the back of that GemDuo. Glue that down. Because remember, use less than you think because you don't want it to kind of smush out the sides. And when you put that GemDuo down, right, all of that glue has to go somewhere. So see, not a lot. Sorry, here, let me see if I can. See that there? Right? And let me glue those two. Whoops. Okay. So I'm going to put those aside and we'll check those out in a little bit. Okay. Let me show you this one real quick. We've got a little bit more time here. So I'll move all of that, and all of this. So you folks were asking about this one here, I think. I did this. I did that one last year. I still have plenty of thread here. I think I've got enough. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, in the center. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the ivory splash in the middle. 1, 2, make sure they're all facing the right way. 3, I'll link it. 2, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has 6. Okay. This one uses a GemDuo, a SuperDuo, and an 11-aught. This one is not online. I will make a page for it. I never made a page for it. I was looking for it yesterday too. At least I don't think we did. I'm going to link all the snowflake ones. I'll take a picture of this. I'll take a picture of the star and I'll put everything there and I'll link all the videos for you. Okay. I'll get that done before the weekend. How does that sound? Okay, now I'm going to tie this around and I'll put it in the newsletter. Okay, so I'm going to tie this around like this. You can't really see the thread. I need to get that background back in there. So remember the other one that I did with the 5. Okay. This one I did with 6. So this is like this. This will tie. And the beads will tell you, you know, they kind of tell you what's next on the agenda, right? Did this go through? Something is funny with that knot. I don't like it. Hang on. I don't know what happened here, but it's not right. Okay, there we go. There we are. Square knot, right over left, left over right, and down. Okay, firm, but not overly tight, and make sure that all of your GemDuos are facing the correct way. I'm going to tie this one more time. And you know what I didn't do on here last time on the other one, but it's glued down, so I don't know what's going to happen with this one. I will put it, I'm going to put just a drop of GS on that knot. Okay. So now let's stitch in that next row. Let's put this out and let's take a look at it. What I did was in each of these, see how wide these are? In the star, I put 2, but in the snowflake, I put 1, and I took up the rest of the space with an 11-aught. Can you see that? So the 11-aught that I have sitting here, I have this bronze one, kind of makes it look a little vintage. Okay, so this is the 11-457 bronze. You use anything you want. This is great to use up your stash, right? Let's go in a little tighter. So we're going to stitch up. So I'm going to go through this hole. Well, no, I can just go up through this hole right here. It'll be all right because it's in the same bead. And I should turn this around so we're looking at the front. And again, it's always a little floppy until you do the reinforcement and stuff, so it'll be all right. Okay, so I'm going to put on an 11. This row, I'm going to use backlets. Okay, so we'll go, or we could use frozens. Frozen would look good too. But an 11-aught, a GemDuo, and an 11-aught. Make sure it's facing the right way. Okay, look at that. Look at there. Okay, so this is the one that I'm making right now. This one, this snowflake, that's what this is. Okay, so this, let's get another backlit. Let's get another 11 and go through the top hole. Okay. So see how that 11-aught is taking up the space. An 11, a backlit, an 11, and this is the ivory splash that I use, but you can use any one. This ivory, it looks so vintage, and these really have a vintage feel to them. And you can stop at any time, right? Oh, I can stop at any time. Look at how nice that ivory splash looks.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't it look good?
Yeah,
I like the
very
splash.
nice.
We have the splash in, is it the turquoise? Like
Yeah,
that?
turquoise copper.
Turquoise copper, that's what it is. So see, look at how great that looks. And again, you can stop this at any time. It can become an earring. It would look great glued on the ultra suede for sure to make a brooch or a pendant for the center of something, right? But my rule of thumb was to have something a little shiny in the center, and I thought the splash were perfect. I wanted my seed bead to have a little bit of metallic to it, so I used the bronze. And yeah, so that was my, and I think the backlets look nice with the splash. So this one here, okay? So let's get the original and let's take a look at what our next step is. Okay, so here's this, okay? The, Carolyn, the GemDuo mixes are 10 grams. So depending on the weight of the bead, it gives you about 70 beads-ish, somewhere in there. So see, that was that row, right? And this was this row. you could stop here, but I'm going to do this. I think I do 2 more rows. I think what I do is, let me see. I think what I did was an 11. I go up here and I go up the top. I put on an 11, 2 SuperDuos, and an 11. And then the final row, I do another 11. I go down through that one, up through that one, another 11. I put on that GemDuo. Okay, so let me do this, this thread path. So I want to just come up here. I'm going to go through. I want the thread to hug my bead. So this time, see, I step up, I go here, I go through that bead that's through the GemDuo, and I go back through the top. So I'm going in the opposite direction that I did on this one. This one I went this way, this one I went this way, and now this one I'm going this way. Okay. So now what I do, oh, and what do I have? Okay, so this is what I did for the SuperDuos. I know that Emily handed them to me. I got the Haunting Mix. Now, the Haunting Mix is really a Halloween-based one. But what it has is, it has some shiny ones in here that I think, or you can use any other, like metallic, you could do all one. But I wanted, so you can get any SuperDuo that has some metallic to it and use that as your SuperDuos. Okay. It just, I don't know. Or you could use, like I could go ahead and use a black if I wanted to kind of zhuzh it a little. But I think I want this. So this mix is Haunting that I'm using. But we have a bunch of mixes that have metallics in them. We just have plain metallic tubes. So you decide. But there's some right there. Okay. So I'm going to put on an 11. I'm going to put on a SuperDuo. I'm going to put on an 11, and I'm going to go through the next GemDuo. Okay. So in the final round, when I put my final round on, that's when that one will go in. Okay. And an 11-aught will go in. So this third round is, get that thread out of the way, an 11-aught. And the GemDuo, the SuperDuos aren't going to quite sit correctly until you go in for that last round. Okay, so don't worry about it. There's one of those, one of these, one of these, and an 11, and through the GemDuo. Try and keep the tail of your other thread from winding through. And again, don't worry about these kind of not sitting right. You'll fix them later. An 11-aught, a shiny, a SuperDuo, shiny, an 11-aught, and through. Then I'm going to finish this one. I think I'm going to use the Ivory Splash at the end, I think. Okay. The second 11 goes on the next round. So it's just one 11 this round, and there'll be a second 11 next round. I'll show you. Hang in there. And one of these. and this. Okay. You want to keep it flat. You don't want it to get too tight, right? Looks a little bit like the dog's breakfast right now, but don't worry. This, one of these, and this. Okay. Last one. This, 11, 2 of these, and an 11. Okay. So, and that goes through here. Now, what we do is we've got to go through the top. Let me zoom in so you can see it. Let me go out and in. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to get one more 11. Let me just double check my thread path. Yeah. Oh, okay. I go through the 11-aught. That's here. Tighten it up. I put on this 11. I go through the top hole of the SuperDuo, the bottom hole of the GemDuo, and the top hole of the neighboring SuperDuo. And it's going to come out of tension, but don't stress about it. Just get that thread path right. Now another 11 and back down through this 11 right here, the one that's already on the thread, and then through the GemDuo that's next to it. Okay, I'll keep going so you'll be able to see it. Again, it'll look a little bit like a mess, but see when I tighten it up, see how that sits really nicely right there. Okay. So let me do the next one. Through the 11, another 11, through the SuperDuo, another GemDuo, through the SuperDuo. Okay. Now, another 11, down through that 11 and through the GemDuo in the row before. Okay. So that's 2 down, 3 to go. Or I don't know how many to go, but through the 11, put on a new 11, flip that SuperDuo up, put on a GemDuo, 4 more to go, I guess. Put that through. This will tighten. And see how the tension is fixing itself here. This is still a big old mess over here, but don't worry about the big old mess. Through that, through the 11, new 11, through the old 11, through the GemDuo, through the old 11. Then I'll put them side by side and stuff. You'll be able to see it all. So here's this, new 11, one SuperDuo, one GemDuo, top hole of the SuperDuo. These want to flip. Come on. My fingers feel huge. Let me just thread through here. There we go. Now through this. Now an 11. Through that 11. This. This one goes on. Then we're going to check our glue and everything in a bit. This one through the 11. Now just one more GemDuo to go. And I just made this up by stitching, right? Just kind of play around with the multiple hole beads and see what happens. I probably had 2 or 3 false starts on this when I was playing around with it. And you're not investing a lot of time, right? You're just kind of flexing your creative muscle to see what's working. That goes through. And this 11 takes up all that extra room, right? And kind of evens everything out. So remember, 111 on the first round here, and then a second on the next one. There we go. Ta-da. So now what I would do is I'd work on reinforcing everything, but I'm not going to do that here. I just want you to see this. Let me kind of put that thread down there. That thread down there. I love the way that looks, right? I love the way these backlit are kind of centered with these. You could also use, instead, you could use the frozen mix for this section. Right? I think it's good. Let me show you this. Then what I did was I stitched one of those triades up at the top. Let me get it. You could also just use like a seed bead loop or something at the top, right? But you could do that. Then what did I do here? Oh, see in the center, I just used the diamond glaze. I thought it needed just a little something in the middle. So you could do that with a color. And I just glued it with the diamond glaze. I didn't stitch it. So you could do that. You could do any color you wanted. Or you could make it match. But I did stiffen this with the diamond glaze. I feel like it needed it. Okay, let me get my hands out of here and you can screenshot. But isn't that pretty? This would also make a really nice, it would make a really nice brooch as well. It does kind of, the terracotta kind of does give it a Southwest kind of a feel for sure. I think I like that blue in the center. I think I like something bright. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You do what you like. I'm looking for a red one. Do I have one red one left? I don't think I do. I'll go for the blue. Doesn't really matter. I don't know why I'm fussing. There we go. Okay. So there you have it. I love it. Let's bring back the other one that I did. Okay. Here's that star. I haven't glued these in yet, but you could add that to the bottom. Let me zoom out a little bit if you wanted. Okay, but here's the stuff I've glued. So this was the zap. The zap on the Ultra Suede. See how it's frosted up a little bit? It's not completely set, but I'll get some of that out. But it hasn't affected the finish, right? Here is the E6000, also set, dries a little clearer. Again, no problems on the backing. Okay. I should have remembered what color is what. I think this might be the zap because it might be a little cloudier, the connection. That might be the E6000, but we're fine back to back. Okay, so you could definitely make the star, glue it back to back with either that you liked. Let me get the diamond glazed one. This is starting to dry. What I like to do with diamond glaze anyway, I would let this sit overnight. It's still wet on the back, but it's starting to dry. See how this is starting to stiffen like this. So I am going to turn it over and let it dry on the back. See there? Right? But look at how, let me see if I can pick this up without ruining it. And just with that diamond glaze, this top has glued onto it. But it really, I think it really looks good. I could also glue, I don't know if gluing that in the center really adds to it. I would say no, right? All of the glue, and Carolyn, you're right, and I'm just doing this because we're live, but anything that I glue overnight, 12 hours. That will make everything a lot happier. I'm going to give this a little bit of air there, though. You know what? Actually, before I do that, I want it to really dry a little bit flatter. So I'm going to leave it here for the moment, and then I'll come over and turn it over. Okay? But look at how, I mean, just look at how vintage just these two big holiday earrings. It'll be like, you know, your flapper grandmother from 1923 got these from, you know, her boyfriend that came over from France, and they were paste. And they went to New York to the, you know, I don't know where they went, to the Algonquin, and danced. And all she had was the memory of her star earrings as he sailed back on the Normandy. I have a whole book in there somewhere. All right. Janice wanted me to turn this over so you could see the threads. What I'll do, the center thread is still here in the middle. And I would just give this a little bit of extra, but I would also diamond glaze this on the back. I'll put the diamond glaze down on the baggie, do the puddle, and glue it down. Okay. I know I love a story. I was always a fanciful kid. I'm still a fanciful adult, right? I can't help it. But here's the back in case you want to screenshot that. It looks pretty if you got silver SuperDuos or GemDuos, right? We have the silver ones, I think, but that's just the back of the mirror. It's really pretty. Right. Right. It does. It's very, very 50s like this. I think they did, Donna, kind of like, maybe I'm basing this on like, what's the one with Deborah Carr and Cary Grant? You know, and they meet on a cruise and they're supposed to meet at the top of the Empire State Building, but she gets hit by a car and then she's infirm, but then they reunite, whatever that is. We're gonna, because all romances have to have a happy ending, right? So, and Affair to Remember. Yes. It's going to be a little bit Affair to Remember, but with a 1920s flapper twist, I think, right? Very Manhattan kind of feel. I love an Affair to Remember, one of my faves. Anyway, so that's that. Let me put all of these down one more time for a final screenshot. Let me move this one over like so. So it's ready. Okay. And I'll get these up. I'll get these up by the weekend, but I'll link this and you can watch it. And let me just go over the beads again. So if you want to get them today, you'll know this is the Triades, the symbol right there. Okay. This is the, what's it? Stomia is this star one here. I used a tube. You've got plenty of GemDuo mirrors, but I would get 2 just for fun. Okay. I would just get 2 so you have them, because when we start carrying the mirrored ones or the backlit ones, we may not be carrying all of these colors. All right. And we still have some in stock. So, so grab another one if you want. So you've got 2 in there. So you've got 20 grams. Then I use the Ivory Splash as the other GemDuo, but you can use any one that you want. But the Ivory Splash has such a nice, kind of finish to it. We will have, I think that they were out of the stars. We'll get them back in. Put yourself on the notification list. The gold one is what I used here. The gold would look amazing as well. See, you could use the gold findings. So whatever works. Then for this 11-aught, I used the bronze. It's the 11- something. Here it is. 11-457, the dark bronze. Use any, stash dive. You have stuff to use for sure. And that's it. That's it. I also had pulled these white luster. I don't think that the white luster was quite what I wanted, but it might look interesting with a different SuperDuo color. The white wasn't quite vintage enough for me. So, and then this mix with all of the random SuperDuos, I used the Haunting mix and just took the metallics out. But get any mix that you like and pull the metallics out and use them. Right? That's it. That's all she wrote. Okay, my friends. That's it. I went over just a little bit, but we had some testing. We had some product testing to do for you. So that's what I've got. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. I will be here on Friday with Danielle to talk about her monthly box release. So don't miss that. They're going to go live on sale Friday at midnight Pacific time, but we have 175 boxes that we sell through. So you should be able to nab one on, but I would get it fast if you want it. We will also talk a little bit about the products that we're going to be carrying to support her box. That'll all be up on a project page. And then we're going to do an unboxing in January to show you the components. Okay. And remember that this is a pre-sale. The boxes are a pre-sale. So if, when you place that order, The shipping and everything will be folded in. So you can order it with other things. Your other things will ship first. And then the box will ship later on. Okay, just to be totally crystal clear about that. So that's it. I'm looking forward to seeing you on Friday. I'll see those of you who can make it for our Zoom meeting for our class, our bag making class, a little Zoom pre-party. It's not it's kind of a pre-party, but we'll be going over some of the cutting instructions, things like that. And then I'll see you for class on Saturday for those of you who are enrolled. Yeah, so December's shaping up to be quite a fun month. More details also on our movie night as well, coming in the newsletter. All right, we really appreciate you folks. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on Friday with Danielle. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.